Some games I cover because they are interesting, some have an interesting story to tell, others are simply such a flash in the pan that it confuses the shit out of me. Peryton is none of those things. Fantasy role-playing game Peryton is a safe, reliable, and boomer-core fantasy for 3rd edition Dragon game. You may be thinking Notepad had a little stroke there. 3rd edition Dragon game, the year of our Lord 2025, yes. Peryton is a bit of an oddity due to the nostalgia for a system that came out 25 years ago. I just want to reiterate for everyone who is scrambling for their life support, D&D 3rd edition came out in 2000. Now that everyone old is now dead, let's get radical, kids, to learn about, well, a pretty safe fantasy game, all things considering. At its most basic, it's a D20 modifiers game. I know, amazing. Almost everything you do will be that kind of role. But do I really need to explain to you how to play this game? You probably want me to talk about things that make it unique, or doesn't do, rather than what it's actually doing in most regards. Making things a little bit easier will be making everyone's favorite elf, Armglass. First, we need to roll up our stats. Since Armglass is a real hero, he's doing it the legit way because Thranway didn't raise a little bitch. Though he may have raised a debatably charismatic one. Remember, kids, don't fit post and lift. From there, a fairly consistent bonus chart is in place, even bonus spells. But now we get to modify our attributes by our race. Rather than having a detailed racial breakdown, Peryton has a vague list of partnership of the armband. All an elf is a slender, fine-featured race, while half-elves are just the offspring of humans and fey-like creatures. The only one that kind of sticks out are orcs due to having a penalty to charisma and intelligence with very little elves. Since Armglass is an elf, reducing his poor constitution but bumping up his dexterity as well as gaining us a few benefits. And now we get to character classes, as we have the Berserker, Fighter, Mystic, Rogue, Templar, and Wizard, and you might be wondering why do we have the Timu classes. Yes, but they work well enough. All of the class information is condensed down into a few paragraphs at best and are a little bit more open-ended to how you want to interpret it. The Mystic is pretty much just a cleric, but can also be a warlock. While the Templar is just a paladin, it can be more than just a paladin, and depending on how you word it. Though this also leads to many of the classes feeling like the cardboard variant of each of the classical archetypes. Except Fighter, as a fighter has a grand total of 2 special abilities, hit people and hit people with gorilla mode. With D10 hit die, proficiency in all simple martial and all armor types, as well as shield types, as well as a specialization in swords like a real elf, by the time we're level 20 we'll also have 4 attacks with our rapidly scaling basic attack bonus. Though we are able to fairly easily multi-class, letting us dabble into anything we really want with minimal fuss. But now we get into some meat and potatoes. As we grow in level, our basic ability check modifier is actually increasing. The flat bonus is our level divided by 3, so a level 6 Armglass gets a +2 to nearly everything, while a level 1 does not. Until you reach one of the most weirdly understated yet interesting parts of the book. Notice how I've never talked about skills, because Peryton almost gets rid of skills entirely, replacing them with knacks. A knack is a right-in skill that a character receives every even level after performing a feat that is critical to the story, allowing them to use their full level for a bonus when using it. Simple enough, but here's a weird note. This also extends to weapon, armor proficiencies, and even languages. So your wizard can pick up how to use a longsword in combat, or our fighter can pick up how to be better at lockpicking. I actually like this system. It lets characters grow a lot more naturally, and letting you look back at the host of weird talents and tricks you've learned over a campaign, but it does take a while to acquire them all. But yeah, that's Armglass. Characters are simple and slim, nothing too amazing to write home about bar some vague curiosities, which is a solid summary of Peryton in general. No turning heads, but interesting enough to muse about. I could talk about combat, but you know what combat is all about. It's 3.5, but simplified and slimmed down. I could talk about the traveling system, but why should I? It's simple and slimmed down again. Magic. What do you actually guess it is? It's Vancian at its core. And, well, you know where I'm going with this. It's simplified and slimmed down. Even just leveling is simplified and slimmed down, as you only need an amount of XP equal to the level you're trying to reach. Earning XP by being heroic, good solutions, or just being entertaining to play with. meaning a level 1 to 20 campaign isn't several 100,000 XP, it's only 209. Should you pick up Peryton right now? Maybe. If you want some 3.5 nostalgia pandering, yeah, but it's interesting enough to look into if you want to nick some things. The knack system is something I quite enjoy, and the more naturalized character development. It's also a good look at how to condense and minimalize a larger system down to just the bare necessities. It's interesting, but simple and slimmed down. Is that a bad thing? Is that a good thing? I don't know. My name is Notepad, and this was Peryton Fantasy Roleplaying. If you like what I do here, feel free to like, comment, and subscribe, and many thanks to the patrons as always. Godspeed and good luck.